Hello everyone, my name is Sam Motorwa. I come from the Tiharan of Philippines, located in the central part of the Pacific. Today, I will be talking about an overview of learning theory. Learning theory describes the ways in which people, students receive knowledge and develop skills through their learning experience. This theory helps us understand how learning actually happens and why people learn differently. There are three main types of learning theory that I will discuss today: behavioral, cognitive, and sociocultural. Firstly, behavioral theory is defined as learning occurs when an individual or child makes change in the way they practice or experience. For example, in my classroom setting, when a student works hard and he or she receive a reward, which can determine the students have much time to do a task. And the best way to encourage students to do his or his task better. On the other hand, when the teacher punishes a student, when she or he had a big mistake in know of his work, it can avoid students doing a task again. Secondly, cognitive theory refers to how people or students think, comprehend, and retain knowledge. For example, if you want to learn how to drive, the first thing is come to mind is memorizing the rules and then practices. Gradually, they can learn to slow down, check the mirror, and know how to drive the car. Thirdly, on social cultural theory, it is referred to as students pick up the knowledge from others through language, culture. Also, it emphasizes the idea of social interaction. For example, if a student is struggling doing an assignment assigned by the teacher and did not complete independently, but she or he fully not understand about it, they can discuss in a group or classmates in order to help them to share what their ideas about the task. This can improve social interaction between students and the teacher will seek help from teachers. In this way, they will show collaborate between teacher and colleagues. To move on to my identification of learning episode, when I was in senior secondary school and learned how to write a formal letter in English, I found that it's really difficult. The first time to write it, it's unsuccessful. My teacher corrected all my mistakes in my first attempt, along with pay attention to the language, punctuation, and make sure to follow the structure that's stated in my feedback. Not only of that, my teacher also giving us an example that she given on the board in order to help us to understand more about composing a letter along with a encouragement to write it again and then we get a good feedback. My second attempt is successful. That's why I focus on what my teacher taught me in my first attempt. And I keep trying to practice more until I know that it's very easy when I force myself to do it again. To move on to the analysis of learning episode and convincing evidence, focus on behaviorist theory based on peer behavior and how it's changed through reinforcement. My teacher correct all my mistakes. For example, punctuation provides feedback. Provide the positive encouragement. I avoid the same mistake when my teacher giving a feedback on my second attempt. This shaped my writing behavior and improved my performance. To look on the other side on cognitive theory based on how we process information through mental process. Teacher explained the format of formal letter by showing step by step, including these elements. Sender's address, date, recipient address, greeting, body, and the conclusion. It's then a mental image of what a formal letter looks like. As I aware of structure of the contents, including prompt, tone, punctuation, and word to use. Evidence wrote the second letter work independently using the correct format. On the other side, to look at the analysis of learning episode and convincing evidence on socio-cultural theory. They argue that learning occurs when social interaction between with the knowledge person. Example, teacher. My teacher gave us a task, writing on the board, and allowed us to work in a group for giving us as a peer work, encouraged us to seek help, but guided us only we need. Learning was interactive and collaborative with peers. Teacher is a source of knowledge through their guidance. Evidence learning through teachers' guidance. Peer work, discussion or discussion group. On the other question on critical analysis that integrates specific examples from class discussion, readings, lecture, and personal experience, and to look at behavioral theory, emphasize the idea of reinforcement through reward encouragement. Back to my learning episode, my teacher correct my mistake and giving immediately feedback, which is essential to change my behavior. As well in the lecture, people can receive positive reinforcement through the reward and teacher word of encouragement, which also shape a behavior. During class discussion, focus on the discussion forum, we practice more on seeing the replies on our forum, and this can improve our behavior to practice more and also the word of encouragement from our peers in replying our forums. On cognitive theory, emphasize schema theory, which is a basic framework including the knowledge. Learning episode on writing a letter also require a mental model of how information flow. For example, my ability to work on it until it's correct. Finally, on social cultural theory, learner also benefits from scaffolding within zone of proximity development through social interactions. Learning experiences resulted when the teacher providing scaffolding by giving examples, modeling examples on the board, and also word of encouragement. Lecture stated 10 research characteristics on teaching in order to improve the ability of teachers to manage their classroom well, providing learning outcomes, assessing students by giving them their assessments. This can build a strong relationship and also the way to engage students, parents, also it creates an inclusive environment. During class discussion, through hosting forum and replying our peers, this is so how we interacted to each other in sharing our different perspectives and had some points to support our peer explanations. Therefore, this is how we engage during the discussion. To sum up, it is very important to know that learning is not counted as a simple process without learning experiences, and I know that for the theories that applies to my own learning episode has helped me to learn and understand more knowledge through my teachers support me in every steps from the beginning until I have success beyond the load that I think is difficult to me. Therefore, this method helped me better and improve my learning through my experiences. Thank you.